Well, today, our deep dive is looking at this really fascinating little gadget. It's called the ESP32C6 stock ticker. And it kind of promises to cut through that noise for like one specific piece of information. We're going to explore, how useful it is, how it actually works, and maybe what makes it interesting for someone wanting just that data point, nice and clean.
Exactly. Our mission here is really to unpack its main features and, honestly, its surprising simplicity. We've looked at the product descriptions, the user manual, and it's quite an interesting approach to getting live data. And what's key, I think, isn't just that it's easy, but maybe why that matters. It kind of shows this trend, right? Using these cheap, powerful little chips.
A microcontroller.
Yeah, microcontrollers to make these super specialized single-job devices. It's almost pushing back against that there's an app for everything idea.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. What is this thing, fundamentally? From what we've seen, it's basically a small box, right? Designed to hook up to your Wi-Fi.
That's the core of it. Its main job, and it's very specific, is showing live USA stock prices. It displays them on a little TFT screen.
TFT?
Thin film transistor. It's just a type of small color screen you see on lots of gadgets. It gets its power from a USB cable, which is handy. And here's the kicker for a lot of people. You don't need any programming skills, none at all. It's built for you to just use it. And that ESP32C6 chip inside is perfect because it has Wi-Fi built in and doesn't use much power, keeps the cost down.
Right, which makes it way more accessible, especially since this isn't some super obscure part, is it?
Yeah.
We're talking about the ESP32C6 LCD 1.47 hardware.
Yep.
And the sources show it's easy to find, pretty cheap too, like $10 to $14 maybe.
Yeah.
On places like AliExpress.
You got it. And what's really interesting is how little you actually need to get it going. Basically, you just need a Wi-Fi network that connects to the internet. Home, office, wherever.
Standard stuff.
Yeah. Then, crucially, you need a free API key from a site called Financial Modeling Prep.
Okay, what's that API key for?
It's like a password, essentially. It lets this specific device ask Financial Modeling Prep for the stock data. You get it from their website, site.financialmodelingprep.com. It's free.
Gotcha.
And the only other thing is a computer or even just your smartphone. You need that for the initial setup part. That's it.
Okay, let's dig into that. The no programming skills needed bit.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that sounds almost too easy for something technical like this. I mean, getting my Wi-Fi printer online can be a headache sometimes. So how do you get it running if you're not a tech wizard?
It's surprisingly logical, actually. First step, you get the software for it. Think of it like a mini-app file, maybe called something like StockTickerC6.bin.
Okay, download a file.
Yeah, if it's zipped, you just unzip it. Then, and this is the clever part, you go to this specific website, espressif.github.io esptool-js.
A website to program the device.
Sort of. It acts like an installer, but it runs in your browser. You plug the ESP32 gadget into your computer's USB port. Then, on that web page, you click Connect. It finds the device. Then you click Select File. Pick that bin file you downloaded.
Right.
Make sure the flash address says 0x0. That just tells it where to put the software on the device's memory. Very beginning. Then click Program.
Wow, okay. So you're basically loading the software onto the hardware directly from a web page. That does sound easier.
It makes a huge difference. You just wait for the progress bar to hit 100%. Then click Disconnect on the website just to be safe. And the device restarts itself. And look, right on its little screen, it shows you the next steps. First, set up SID, stock ticker, password X URL, 192.168.4.1.
Ah, okay. So it tells you what to do next.
Exactly. So now you grab your phone or computer, go to your Wi-Fi settings, and look for a network named stock ticker.
Like connecting to guest Wi-Fi somewhere.
Precisely. You connect to it using the password X. That's PASWORDX. Once you're connected to that temporary network, you open a web browser on your phone or computer, and you type in that URL it showed, http://192.168.4.1. That's its temporary address.
Okay, like a little setup portal.
You got it. And there, you just fill in the important bits. The name, the SSID of your real home or office Wi-Fi network, and its password. You also paste in that FMP API key you got earlier.
Right, the data access key.
And finally, you type in the stock symbol you actually want to track, like AAPL for Apple or whatever.
Makes sense.
Then you click Accept. The device reboots again, connects to your Wi-Fi this time, and should start showing the live stock prices.
That is actually pretty impressive. Going from, a piece of plastic and silicon to live data with just a few clicks and typing some passwords, it really does make this kind of specific info much more available to, well, anyone. But does this simplicity mean you lose out on features? Like, can power users tweak it much?
That's a really good point. It is designed primarily for simplicity. So, no, deep customization isn't the main goal here. That's kind of the trade-off. The idea is it does one thing well and easily.
Right, focus.
But what's handy is, once it's running on your network, it shows its own IP address on the screen, usually top right, and you can always type that IP address into your browser, followed by status, so http.the-device-status.
Ah, so you can get back into its settings later.
Exactly. From that status page, you can check things, or, importantly, you can do a factory reset or change the stock symbol you're monitoring without going through the whole Wi-Fi setup again.
That's useful. Okay, so the setup is surprisingly smooth. But what about the payoff? Once it is running, what are you actually looking at on that little screen?
Right, the actual display. It cycles through a few key bits of info, updating every couple of minutes or so. You'll see the stock's name, obviously. The current price.
The important number.
Definitely. And also the price change for the day, both as a value and a percentage, plus the high and low prices for that day and the trading volume.
So quite a bit of core info.
Yeah, the essentials.
Yes.
And like I mentioned, it also shows its own IP address, which is handy. Oh, and if it can't reach the FMP API for some reason, maybe your internet's down or their server's busy, it'll just say no data on the bottom line. So,
Good feedback. And you mentioned checking its status via that IP address page. What exactly does that show you?
Yeah, its status page is quite useful. It confirms the current stock price it has. It shows your Wi-Fi connection details, like the signal strength. It tells you if it's successfully connecting to the FMP API. And critically, there's a link there to reset the whole thing back to factory defaults if you need to start over, which erases everything.
Okay, good to know. What about just powering it? Is it fussy? Need a special plug?
Nope, super standard. It just uses a USB-C port, needs 5 volts.
So like any phone charger or a computer USB port.
Exactly. Any basic phone charger, any USB port on a computer or hub, it's designed to be easy that way too.
Okay.
So tying it all together, what you really have here is this dedicated little tool. It's simple to set up. It gives you this very quick, very focused insight into one specific stock.
Right.
It's not about browsing endless charts or getting complex analysis. It's about that immediate single piece of data, cutting out the clutter. It's just a really neat example of using this accessible tech for a very specific, focused purpose.
So thinking about that, what does this all mean for you, listening? In this world where we're just flooded with information, where every screen wants your attention, how does something like this fit in? This tiny single-job device? Could we see more things like this? Dedicated little screens for just one piece of data we care about, maybe freeing us up from always grabbing our phone or opening a browser tab. What other really specific at-a-glance bits of information would you want on a little display like this? What kind of possibilities does this sort of super-focused, accessible micro-information open up? Something to think about.